Good evening. Welcome to our December 3rd, 2024 City Council meeting. It is 7:02 p.m. Meeting is now in session. Today, we will have our invocation by Pastor Mason Okubo from Emmanuel First Church, and Mayor Pro Tem Wu will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise.
Thank you, Mayor. Let us pray. Father in heaven, as you are the authority above all authorities, I ask your wisdom to be upon us and our city council, that they may carry out your will in guiding our city. We receive them as a gift from you. Bless their willingness to serve our city. Send your Holy Spirit among us that we might work together in harmony for the good of the people of West Covina and for our world. Thank you for all who give their time and talents to serve our city. And we ask you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Assistant City Clerk, roll call, please.
Good evening, Mayor. Councilman Cantos.
Here.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Here.
Councilwoman Lopez Viado.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Wu.
Here.
Mayor Calderon Tabatabai.
Present. City Attorney, is there anything to be reported out of closed session?
Nothing to report, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. There are no presentations this evening, so we will now move to our city manager's report, which will be given by our city manager, Paulina Morales.
We usually have a little bit more time, but yes. Right to staff, to the city manager's report. So good evening, Mayor and council members. Just wanted a brief reminder to our local businesses that in January, we do have our business renewal process. So if you're a business in our community, please make sure to renew your business license. They are due by the end of the year or by the end of January. So otherwise, there are penalties that come with not renewing within that first month. So just a friendly reminder, you can go to our website to renew your business license. It's all done on or through our website. Next is our pet license amnesty period. So if you want to renew your pet license from December 1st through February 28th, the Department of Animal Care and Control will be waiving any fees or penalties for individuals that have not previously renewed their pet licenses. So during this period, penalty fees will be entirely waived for pet owners purchasing or renewing their pet licenses, encouraging residents who otherwise may have forgone a pet license to associated fees. So we encourage those to renew their pet license during this period. We're also continuing to receive letters to Santa on his behalf. We do have the drop-off box outside the entrance to City Hall. The last day to drop off will be Friday, December 6th, with an additional drop-off day on the Christmas parade, which will be December 14th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So if you're interested in sending your letter to Santa, please do so before Friday or at the Christmas parade. Just a couple of friendly reminders with the holidays coming up. We have a couple City Hall closures. City Hall will be closed Thursday, December 12th from 12:30 to 1:30. And then Monday, December 23rd to January 1st will be closed for the holiday closure. And we will be reopening for business January 2nd. We have some upcoming events. Like I mentioned, the Letters to Santa. We also have the Let It Snow event this Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. here at the West Covina Civic Center. And we also have the Children's Christmas Parade in Santa's Village Saturday, December 14th from 9 to 1 p.m. in the historic downtown area. And then for the Let It Snow event, we are relocating it, so it's still going to be at City Hall, but instead of the courtyard area, we're expanding it. It has been a very successful event, so to accommodate more people, we are moving it to the parking lot outside of the Civic Center. Hope to see everyone there, and that concludes my presentation.
Councilman Contos.
Madam City Manager, can you talk about the event this Saturday, the district meeting?
Oh, that's right. I believe there's a district meeting this Saturday at a private residence, and I don't remember the address off the top of my head. Let me pull it up. And I forgot the time. I apologize.
That's okay. It's at 10 a.m. this Saturday at the home of the Sanders family, and it's at 8600 Courtney Circle.
And it'll be District 4 council meeting with Councilmember Contos.
Thank you.
One last item, since thank you for reminding me. We do have a special meeting on Thursday at 4:00 for the mayoral rotation and the certification of the votes. So, just wanted to let everyone know. That concludes my presentation.
All right. We will now move to oral communications. If anyone would like to address the council, please fill out an orange speaker card, submit it to the assistant city clerk. When you hear your name being called, please start lining up in the center row. The timer will start when you reach the podium. Requests to speak on agenda items will be heard prior to requests to speak on non-agenda items. Assistant City Clerk, can you please call the first speaker? Thank you.
John Shoemaker, followed by R. Robinson, followed by Jerry Patras.
Good evening, everybody. One comment I want to make, but it probably would show up in January 7th, so I better not. Amazing to open the newspaper and find out that we're firing our fire chief. I guess because people on the council don't have to pay themselves. They don't care about the millions of dollars that are going to be going out. What I thought was immensely interesting about it, though, was that, we'd had problems in the past with it. Well, no, we haven't had problems in the past with getting that grant. It's just that, as I have said, you hire a certain number of people, overtime disappears. And that's not the deal that certain people on this council have made, to do that. I wonder how you lose confidence in somebody who goes out and says, here's how we can get for at least 3 years more firefighters to help the public. You can see where you'd lose confidence in that when you want to do just the opposite. It's like I've been saying for years. Members of this council aren't for the public safety, they're for public safety, giving them what they want. When you look at a firefighter with overtime making a couple $100,000 a year and you hire a certain number of people, guess what happens? And you don't change the MOU to go to 4 instead of 3, you instantly start losing all that overtime because you're not below minimum staffing and you have people. And guess what happens in 3 years? You haven't been spending that money on overtime, but you now can convert it to people. So all those things that are going on no longer happen. But that's not what certain people here want to hear. Of how to make the city safer and more efficient and actually do things. But I understand, there's 3 votes and, there'll be 4 coming up that, people want to do things. They're more concerned about keeping their titles than they are about doing what's helping the city. Those types of things. There is one other thing that I want to say. The other day, my daughter and her husband were involved in, as the chief refers to things, crimes as incidents. And I found it amazing how within a day or two, a detective was assigned and an arrest was made. Amazing. Where here we are almost 2 months into it with video. And mysteriously, West Covina waited a month before they punted. And there's a video of the incident. I wonder what the difference was. The perpetrator wasn't a council member, maybe? Or a family member of a council member? So I just kind of scratched my head, said, well, thankfully that person's off the street. And we can all move forward, with those things. So we'll just keep going, keep plugging away, keep being a pain for people. You take care. Bye.
R. Robinson, followed by Jerry Patras, followed by Mario.
Evening. Our founding fathers could not imagine the cesspool the Bush League operation, also known as the U.S. Congress, which has evolved. The U.S. must apply Article 4, Section 4 of the U.S. Constitution, which guarantees that the United States shall warranty to every state in this union a republican form of government, and it mandates protection against invasion and domestic violence. This means that each state is to be governed as a representative democracy, and the federal government is responsible for intervening if a state requests help during significant unrest or violence, or even if they don't request help, the county constitutional sheriffs can mobilize, that is, be organized to protect the people, and then the matter is submitted to a county grand jury for investigation. The Border Patrol must be allowed to do their job, and the feds or DOD need to be stationed at a secured national border according to Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. Sheriffs backed up by state National Guard organized to be dealing with uncooperative mayors and governors who illegally provide unlawful sanctuary cities or sanctuary states. Crimes perpetrated these past years must be faithfully prosecuted. The hunters will become the hunted. Blue state governors risk being found guilty of sedition or treason. All their lawfully administered oaths must be respected, unlike in the past 4 years. All provocations must be ignored in the next months. The most critical issue is maintaining the peace and recognizing false flags. Whatever the spark, both sides will be pointing fingers at each other. Moreover, the fake news will continue to distort reality and truthfulness. Get ready for a host of false flag operations, staged uprisings to destroy the peace and assure martial law is imposed upon us, and thus guaranteed tyranny. We have to avoid imposition of martial law. Taking our nation into war is a time-honored technique, so people lose focus and forget all the crimes perpetrated on the people during the past 4 years. Presidential pardons are not enough to shield all the guilty. Solving the Bush League Congress problem is simple. A constitutional amendment needs to be enacted to establish term limits for all members of the House of Representatives, 10 years, and Senate, 12 years. This amendment passage is becoming essential. I mean, our founding fathers couldn't imagine what we've become. Many representatives are dual citizens and forget that their primary mission is to stand up for America first. But first we need to get through the next 48 days. I fear that the president-elect does not have adequate personal protection. We must join in community to ensure that the constitutional amendment that established congressional term limits is enacted. So then all the lobbied, bought, and bribed representatives can and will be turned out to pasture. Pray for peace. The H1N1 bird flu is coming. The latest bioweapon to be foisted upon America may emerge and may kick into high gear soon. I mean, now epidemics are calendarized these days. It's ridiculous. So look for media fear mongering, which will reap large profits for the pharmaceutical medical complex. So we can expect the bird flu to be around us about February 1st, 2025. But don't worry, the vaccine cult will save us. And if you believe this, I've got some ocean bottom land that I'd like to sell you real cheap. So you can expect more alarmism and the next epidemic to be solved by more weaponized, deadly jabs. So we've all got to pool our good ideas and pray for peace in the next 6 months. Abraham Lincoln got elected to his second term, but he only served 42 days of his second term. You know, that can't happen again.
Merry Christmas, Bill.
Jerry Patras, followed by Mario, followed by Matthew.
Good evening, Council. Mayor, I'm here to thank you. I have found in the 4 years you've been on the council, you've been very professional. When I have had a question, you've responded to it. You helped with the Palmview Park airplane painting that should have never happened. Most of all, I want to compliment you on the way you take an awful lot of garbage from people. And it's inappropriate how much you've been given. Everybody in here should have treated you with the same respect that they expected to receive. And that didn't happen. I'm not the only conservative person in the city of West Covina that feels this way. I'm not speaking for people, but I hear from them. This last year was especially difficult and trying for a lot of us, but you handled it very professionally. You set a good standard, and I hope others follow. Thank you.
Mario, followed by Matthew, followed by Ray Vargas.
All right. Good evening, Mayor Tabatabai, members of the City Council, and city staff. I'm here tonight because I and many other residents are deeply concerned about the rush scheduling of Thursday's special meeting. This process isn't just unusual, it undermines the principles of transparency, fairness, and respect that should define this council's actions. The reorganization of the council, including the installation of a new mayor, is a significant event for the city. Traditionally, this would take place during the next regular city council meeting, which in this case is December 17th. Yet here we are with a hastily called meeting on December 5th, a date clearly chosen to align with the Let It Snow event on December 6th. Let's be clear, the Let It Snow tree lighting should be a joyful, family-oriented celebration, free from political overtones. By rushing this transition just to ensure that Tony Wu is the mayor in time for this event, the city risks politicizing what should be a unifying moment. This puts the focus on power plays rather than the spirit of the holiday season. It's no secret that special meetings like this have consistently been called at the request of Tony Wu since at least 2018. To the city manager, I ask you, what is the process for scheduling special meetings, and who made the decision to hold this one? To the city council, I ask you, is this meeting truly necessary, or is it simply to serve personal or political interests? These are critical questions that need answering because the optics here suggest a lack of balance and fairness in how decisions are made. The process surrounding this special meeting has been nothing short of confusing. The city calendar doesn't list this meeting, a glaring omission for an event of this significance. The agenda originally listed the wrong day, Tuesday instead of Thursday, leaving residents confused about when this meeting actually is happening. Residents are left with only one opportunity to voice their concerns, tonight's meeting, just 2 days before the special session. Why is it that something as important as a council reorganization feels hidden from public view? This is not how you build trust with your community. Another layer to this rush process is the need to accommodate Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, who is scheduled to swear in Brian Gutierrez and Rosario Diaz. The irony here cannot be ignored. Both Gutierrez and Diaz campaigned on platforms that oppose the policies of Governor Gavin Newsom and District Attorney George Gascon. Yet now they're inviting Newsom's closest ally to preside over the swearing in. How does this make sense? To voters, this comes across as hypocritical and at best disingenuous at worst. I ask the council to explain, how do you reconcile this contradiction with the promises made to the people of West Covina? Finally, I want to address what I see as a lack of respect for Mayor Brian Tabatabai. This rush meeting denies him, his family, and his supporters the opportunity for a proper farewell during a regular council meeting. Mayor Tabatabai has served this city with dedication and integrity, and he deserves more than to be hurried out of office as part of a political convenience. By rushing this process, the city not only disrespects him, but also diminishes the dignity of the role of mayor. This is not just about one person, it's about upholding the values and traditions of our city. Tonight, I'm asking for clarity and accountability. Why is this meeting happening on December 5th instead of December 17th? Why wasn't this meeting listed on the city calendar? Who specifically requested this meeting, and what was the justification? West Covina deserves leadership that is transparent, respectful, and focused on serving its residents, not just political timelines or optics. The city has the opportunity to do the right thing by slowing down and conducting the council reorganization during the December 17th meeting. Doing so would restore public trust and ensure a process that values integrity over expediency. Thank you.
Matthew, followed by Ray Vargas.
Good evening, Mayor. West Covina is at a breaking point. The recent $4.1 million jury verdict awarded to former Fire Chief Larry Withorn for wrongful termination is more than a legal decision. It is a damning indictment of our city's leadership. It exposes a culture of discrimination, whistleblower retaliation, and a blatant disregard for ethical governance. The question we must confront is simple. How much longer will West Covina's residents be forced to foot the bill for leadership failures? Chief Withorn's dismissal was a miscarriage of justice driven by relentless pressure from local officials. This case is not an isolated incident. It is part of a larger, deeply concerning pattern. In November, City Hall became a battleground when the council member for District 3, her husband, and several residents were involved in a public altercation, now under investigation. This disgraceful incident, coupled with the abrupt termination of Fire Chief Vincent Capelli, has left our city in chaos. With Police Chief Richard Bell retiring on December 27th, our public safety departments are teetering on the brink of instability. The situation has been further exacerbated by longstanding tensions between Fire Chief Capelli and our Mayor Pro Tem, which escalated into a highly publicized confrontation in 2022. Mayor Pro Tem's role in this ongoing conflict is a matter of public record and must be scrutinized. Adding to this turmoil, the former city manager has filed a police report alleging threats from the Mayor Pro Tem. This is not leadership. It's a failure to uphold the basic standards of public service. These incidents are not random. They are the direct result of years of poor decision-making and a toxic leadership culture that began with pivotal dismissals in 2019. The same individuals responsible then are responsible now. Enough is enough. As a taxpayer and resident of the city, I demand answers and immediate action. Number one, the council member for District 3 must resign immediately. Her actions demonstrate a clear lack of the integrity required to hold public office. Number two, Mayor Pro Tem must be held accountable for his role in fostering the ongoing instability in the city. This includes a full and transparent leadership investigation into the allegations against him. The city manager's office must publicly address these incidents and implement measures to restore public trust. Silence is not an option. An independent investigation must be launched into recent terminations and the overall conduct of city leadership. Accountability is overdue. West Covina is better than this. We deserve leaders who serve with integrity, communicate transparently, and prioritize the well-being of this community over personal and political agendas. The dysfunction and scandals of 2024 must not define our future. It's time to break the cycle of mismanagement and demand real accountability. The cost of inaction is too high, and the stakes for our city are too great. Let us stand united for a future built on justice, integrity, and responsible leadership. West Covina cannot afford to wait. Thank you.
Well, good evening, Council. People in this room will have different says and different opinions. But my opinion, you had 4 years to get the job done, do what was right for the city, for the residents, the community. You know, about putting paint on the park and putting new sand in the playground, that's all good. Anybody could do that. But I'm saying, get the job done. How many people in the community or out of the community have lost loved ones on Puente and Vincent? There's been people here on holidays grieving, you know, losing their loved ones. It didn't matter to you. You know, you were at another level. You know, you wanted to be the star, the coach, the teacher, this, that, whatnot.
Great. And we could pause this time. Just to be clear, we have funded and we are set to do that left turn signal on Puente and Vincent. It's something that was a priority of the city. It's been passed long ago. It's going to happen. Also, as council, we're part-time. My full-time job is a teacher. That is my job. I serve the community as a council member. But one thing to note, you know, the fact that I won't be on the council anymore, my family doesn't have to worry about my house payment because I'm a teacher. That's my career. You know, when the fire chief loses his job, well, he does have to worry. His family does have to worry. It's one of the reasons why a council like ours that's part-time, right? If you have a full-time city council, then that is their livelihood. So a full-time city council member, when they're making decisions, they really do have to worry, man, if I don't get reelected, I might lose my house. But a part-time council member, it doesn't affect our livelihood. And so I understand. I see you. So just to understand that.
Would you please let him finish?
He
has a freedom of speech.
Oh, he does. He'll have his entire time.
Finish.
He will.
You can rebuttal.
He will have. He will have his entire time.
And don't cut him off. Let him finish.
I have the floor. I have the floor.
But I think attorney. Okay. Should we let the
Mr. Mayor, during all our communications, let them. You can respond after it's closed.
City Attorney, I understand. One thing I do want to recognize is that the Mayor Pro Tem was not recognized. And so I understand. I understand. So Ray, because I know we come up and we give public comment and the council never responds. And as a resident, you feel like you're not being heard. And you have been heard. And again, as they just mentioned, right, this what I'm doing right now is not proper, right, to speak back to you. But since it is
what I want,
right, and since it's my last meeting, I'll go ahead and take that liberty. And I could be reprimanded. That's okay. But I do want you to know, right, all those times you've spoken, we've worked really hard for Vincent and Puente. And it has been a conversation almost every meeting with the city manager that I've had. And this council did approve the funding for it. And so I know it doesn't happen fast enough. And I know those families that came on Thanksgiving, it didn't happen fast enough, and it doesn't. And I wish we could, all of us do. But I just want you to understand that. But please give him his 5 minutes so that way you can start fresh. I want to make sure you have your whole time.
No, that's fine.
Go back to 5 minutes, Mayor.
But the thing is, like you're saying, this is part-time. That was a choice and decision you made. We're not looking for part-timers. We're looking for full-timers. Somebody's going to take it serious, you know, with integrity, leadership, and do something. You know, I got homeless people. I was just talking with Tony Quarantina. Next door is Edison. You know, Edison cleaned up and put the irrigation and new grass and everything. Got homeless people trying to get in there, trying to go under there, you know, trying to push their little buggy baskets in there, put out sleeping tents. You know, we're chasing them the hell out of there. Same thing on the on and off ramps. Vincent, Azusa, Citrus. You know, it's a big growing thing. You know, we don't have enough police officers out there to address every call, every issue. You call the police department and they're swamped. They're overcalled. But yet you guys are building a corrupted enforcement. You guys were focused on that. You know, we don't need kids out there playing cops and robbers. You know, a good example, that Officer Hernandez when he got that robbery at 7-Eleven. Do you think Mylan and his corrupted enforcement are going to stop a robbery like that? No. You know, you're putting people at the wrong positions, the wrong jobs. You're increasing here, but you're decreasing what we need. We need officers on the street. There's a lot more going on out there, you know, but you're out there on Merced, you're up there and whatnot. You don't see what goes on where I'm at, way up in the north. You know, we go through this day in, day out. And like I tell you, that was a choice and decision you made. But we don't need part-timers. We need full-timers. We need somebody dedicated to the city, the community, and the residents. And build our safety and our protection. You know, how many cars are getting stolen? How many cars are getting vandalized, broken into? The parks. You got homeless in Del Norte. Also down north, we need our kids. They play ball there. What's happening there? You know, you guys are taking from the kids to build these apartments, condos, whatever in the hell is going on there. That's for the kids. You guys don't talk about it. You guys don't bring it up. You know, that's just selfish. That's not right. You know, I've talked to you plenty of times. You said you were going to make these changes, you were going to do this, you were going to do that. At the end of the day, you fell into the Muppet Show. You did. You fell under his wing. That's what happened. And shit didn't get done. I'm done.
Mr. G.
I'm sorry, really quick.
I will cede the floor to Mayor Pro Tem Wu.
I just want the resident, that property doesn't belong to the city. They are notice school, belong to the school district. School district want to sell it. A city, we have no say. Just want to share with you to give him some justification, but just let you know, that's a school district property, not belong to the city. Thank you.
Merry Christmas to the staff, to the councilman, to the mayor. Happy Hanukkah. Now we can come together. Now we can focus on family. And we start a new year. What he was saying was just raise the standards. Raise it to where it used to be. Where I could be a 5-year-old kid running around my neighborhood, go 1.5 miles, 2 miles by myself, go pick up a loaf of bread for my mom and dad, come back home, be unmolested. Because there were residents. I asked almost 2 years ago, Mr. Duarte, to give me a definition what a resident or a citizen. There are transients or transients. Why do we spend money on them? I think it's the city of Norwalk or Pico Rivera, one of those cities, that said we're stopped giving money to the state for their homeless program. I can empathize for them, okay? But if you make bad decisions, why do I have to pay for it? Why do the city of West Covina have to pay for it? That's kind of what that man was saying. But then again, you make the critical decision, each and every one of you. You are known by your decisions and actions, not your words. Again, I'm going to leave you with the simple words of Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. And may your families be blessed in the new year.
No further speakers, Mayor.
All right. City Manager?
Yes, in regards to personnel matters, I won't be discussing that or responding to that. In regards to Mario's concern about the special meeting, I would agree that traditionally the city would do the mayoral rotation the second meeting in November. with the exception of election years where it would be at the next meeting following the certification of the election results. Recently, as of I think a month or two ago, the City Council recently approved an ordinance change that changed the mayoral rotation process to allow for each council member to have a year term. So we are now operating under that new ordinance that allows for the mayoral rotation to occur at a regular or special meeting held approximately 1 year from the installation date of the outgoing mayor. And so that is what we are following. And I don't think I have any other responses. Ray Vargas, I think the mayor responded to Puente and Vincent. We are working on that. We approved the contract with the contractor to move forward with that. We are ordering the parts so that we can get that moving forward. There is a delay in that. We are prioritizing that specific intersection so that they can make those improvements and start there. So we are moving forward with improvements at that intersection, and I think that concludes my comments.
Councilwoman Diaz.
Thank you, Mayor. As usual, Mario, I just want to correct you because you have your facts wrong. The Lieutenant Governor is not swearing me in, so that's false. You got your facts wrong. Thank you.
Councilwoman Lopez Viado.
All right, I just wanted to comment, but for Ray Vargas, I know they tend to hit our code enforcement a lot and stating that, you know, they don't go hand in hand and PD doesn't. But I just wanted to let him and the resident know that code enforcement assists West Covina PD very closely. They actually work. Mylan, it works very closely with Captain Cortina. So things that they mention, oh, Captain Cortina does this, well, that goes hand in hand with Mylan. But code enforcement not just helps West Covina PD, but they also help with fire. They assist in all emergency situations, including traffic controls, and they manning the fixed location. So with code enforcement's help, they actually relieve PD from that location so that they're able to go to be at your houses, to be at other locations. They, relieve about 4 to 6 at a time. And so, I mean, I wouldn't mind, I would love to have code enforcement actually come in to present the things that they do that goes hand in hand. So in reality, code enforcement, there's a lot of things that code enforcement does that offset PD, fire, and utilizes those resources that a lot of people don't see. They think code enforcement just enforces certain things, but they do much more. So I just wanted to note that. And if there's more, please do share. But I would love code enforcement to actually give a presentation on everything that they do, including the assistant that offset a lot of the costs that a lot of the residents don't see. So thank you.
And we can make that request in a few moments. Any other comments? No. I guess lastly, on the homeless situation, I think this council has a lot of different paths, and hopefully, I know that it was requested a while ago to have a presentation on our homeless plan, and so I look forward to that coming up in the near future, so we can see how the city is going to address that issue. All right, so I think we are ready to move on to our consent calendar. Council, is there anything you would like to pull from the consent calendar? Seeing none, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? I need to finish, Mayor Pro Tem.
Let them do it.
All right. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar items number 1 through 4 with the numbers 1 through 4?
I'll move the motion.
Second.
All right. City Clerk.
Before taking roll, I'll just read ordinance number 2524 into the record. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of West Covina, California, amending Division 2 Purchasing Procedures of Article 7 Purchases and Sales of Chapter 2 Administration of the West Covina Municipal Code. I have a motion by Councilwoman Diaz and a second by Councilman Contos. Councilman Contos?
Aye.
Councilwoman Diaz?
Aye.
Councilwoman Lopez Viado?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Wu?
Aye.
Mayor Calderon Tabatabai?
Aye.
Items 1 through 4 pass 5-0, Mayor.
All right. Do we have any council member requests?
We have comment.
Okay. City council reports. Councilman Cantos, you
Yes,
have a request?
just as a request, I'd like to ask that staff put together, go through the series of complaints that have been submitted by residents with regard to trees, and just to see about the extent to which there has been responsiveness, and then if there hasn't been, for them to work on getting those taken care of, and just making sure that there is high responsiveness in that context.
All right. We have consensus there. Yes, Councilwoman Lopez Villado, I believe you have a request.
Thank you. And it's the continuation of the request that I spoke about earlier to have code enforcement present the whole 4 things. So thank you.
Mayor, do we need we're good? Yes.
No objection.
Mayor Pro Tem Wu?
I just want to follow up, with the email from Councilman Canto regarding the update the website with all the information we need that, please, just a request to, if we have any information, we need to right away update our website. So, and just like the email mentioned, and your title is the acting city manager. So hopefully that thing has been changed, and all the event and have been posted on the website, including a lot of people asking for a job, so possible job opening for our city so people can search during this time. So the request is please update our website so our residents or other people can really research and to get their information they want from our city. Thank you.
All right. Any Councilman Cantos?
Yes, one more. In support of increasing the community's feeling of safety with regard to the things that are happening around the city, we know statistically that the crime level has dropped in various categories, but the difficulty is that residents in the community don't have a full awareness of the efforts of law enforcement. So I'd like to ask that law enforcement prepare a presentation for us and for the community, not only regarding their ongoing efforts to promote public safety, but also to make specific asks regarding how we can join forces with them so that way we can provide the community can provide further input regarding improvements that are sought, as well as how to protect businesses and residents from a feeling of not really feeling as being as safe with regard to crimes that are being committed in the community.
City Manager Morales?
Yes, I was going to mention the response to the city manager comments, but thank you for bringing it up, Mr. Councilman Cantos. Yes, I met with the chief regarding the crime rate in West Covina, and overall it has dropped. So I would be very happy to share that with you guys at the next council meeting, of course, and we'll still meet the councilman's mother may I request.
All right. Any other comments? Yes, Mayor Pro Tem Wu.
Thank you, Mayor. I think this is your last meeting to host. I want to thank you I want to save this for the Thursday, but still, because this is your last meeting you host, I want to say something. No matter what, we have a difference. I really enjoy debating with you during these 4 years because you have your belief and I have my belief. And we are fighting for each of what we think is right. And but I think we still in very civilized matter. And outside we all facing the public, we all united together. So I want to thank you. For that. This is just politics. Politics not everything. It's not life and death, not enemy. It's just a different opinion. And so we have a different opinion. I respect your freedom of speech. No matter what you say, I'll just take it. No matter how the residents say, attack this and that, I took it. So again, this is how this country is about, democracy. And you sit over there, and you will have a side benefit is people will, no matter what, second guess you. And you should, have your head high, and I want to wish you all the best. Again, I want to save this for the Thursday, but again, 4 years, and we have left and right major difference, but I enjoy, and I don't know future, okay, without you, who I'm going to debate with, possible Gutierrez. Okay, so anyway, and but any other than that, thank you for your service. I wish you all the best.
Councilwoman Lopez Villaro.
Thank you. And I'll save the rest for later, but I just want to say thank you. I know everybody comes in and hits our two famous, night and day. They've both, so though you might have a lot of differences, there is one common thing that you have in common with both of you is that you guys get hit a lot by the public. So you guys both take the beating. So that is the commonality. But I just want to say thank you again, and I'll be sharing more words on our last day. But thank you, Mayor. It was a pleasure serving.
Thank you. All right. I will save my last comment for Thursday. I won't promise anything there, but I will say I can guarantee that the website will probably be updated real quick on that councilman page.